Hello and welcome back to Animated Literacy. This is lesson number 63 from the Story Song and Action Book. In our last lesson we learned about Winkie Walrus and how Winkie likes to go to the wishing well to wash his whiskers and wish for wonderful wiggly worms. So we've now changed Winkie Walrus's black and white picture to color. So you can see our chart is now getting pretty full with lots of colored pictures where we know all of the characters' songs and sounds. So let's do a little bit of practice with Winkie Walrus's sounds. So everybody, once again, show me washing your whiskers. So warm your hands up and put them on your face like this. Move them up and down and go wah. Or you can show me wishing and put your hands out like this and go wah. Now remember, we did a song a little while back with the bubble gum, and we made our bubbles bigger and bigger. So show me your bubble like this that you can blow with your bubble gum and sing this with me. Blowing big bubbles with bubble gum, blowing big bubbles with bubble gum, blowing big bubbles with bubble gum, blowing big bubbles with bubble gum. Now if Winkie Walrus sings that, what's it going to sound like? Let's try it. Show me washing your whiskers. Wowing wig wubbles with wubble wum. 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 Now if we start to go through and practice our other sounds, if we do Mimi Mermaid, here's her magic mop. So show me what she's going to do. Ready? Mowing mig mubbles with mubble mum. Mowing mig mubbles with mubble mum. What does Chauncey Chipmunk do? Here he is chopping. Chowing chig chubbles with chubble chum again. Chowing chig chubbles with chubble chum. And here's Farley Fox fishing. So show me fishing. Foing fig fubbles with fubble fum. Foing fig fubbles with fubble fum. And Crazy Camel's catching. So go k. Coing kig cubbles with cubble cum. Coing kig cubbles with cubble cum. Be sure you're doing the motions with me and singing it either with me or after me. Show me Baby Barnaby bowing. Ready? Bowing big bubbles with bubble bum. Bowing big bubbles with bubble bum. And here's Gilda Goose and she's gliding. So go g. Going gig gubbles with gubble gum. Going gig gubbles with gubble gum. Here's Sadie Seal surfing. Show me s. Sewing sig subbles with subble sum. Sewing sig subbles with subble sum. Here's Rosie Raccoon riding and roping. Rowing rig rubbles with rubble rum. Rowing rig rubbles with rubble rum. And here's Polly Panda painting. So show me painting and go Poing pig pubbles with pubble pum. Poing pig pubbles with pubble pum. What's Timmy Tiger doing? Here he is tickling. So show me tickling. Go t. Towing tig tubbles with tubble tum. Towing tig tubbles with tubble tum. And here's Jenny Jaguar juggling. So go j. Joeing jig jubbles with jubble jum. Joeing jig jubbles with jubble jum. And here's Hippie Hippo with his harmonica. So blow that hot air and go into your harmonica. Hoeing hig hubbles with hubble hum. Again, hoeing hig hubbles with hubble hum. And here's Kimmy Kangaroo blowing her kisses and going k. Coing kig cubbles with cubble cum. Again, coing kig cubbles with cubble cum. And here's Daisy Dragon and she's dancing, or she can dance like this and go d. Doing dig doubles with double dum. Doing dig doubles with double dum. And here's Lizzie Lamb laying her head on lemon leaves. Go oh. Lowing lig lubbles with lubble lum. Lowing lig lubbles with lubble lum. And here's the thick thorny thing, and he's thirsty, so take care, hold your throat and stick your tongue out and go Thowing thig thubbles with thubble thumb. Thowing thig thubbles with thubble thumb. And we're back to Winkie Walrus. What does he do? Wowing wig wubbles with wubble wum. Wowing wig wubbles with Wubble wum. Okay, well, we're going to draw some pictures that use Winkie Walrus's sound today. So let's take out our paper, get out our pens, and on the count of 3, take your cap off. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Turn your pen around and hold it up in the air and show me when you're ready to draw a walrus. So we're going to come in a little bit on our paper here, and I'm going to start drawing my walrus by making 2 eyes. So make your 2 circles for your eyes. Then I'm going to add a pupil inside each circle. Now I'm going to come down here for the nose, and I'm going to make a straight line and then kind of curve around sort of a triangle shape. Okay, and we can give him a little eyebrow, so a little line, curved line up on top of each eye. Now we're going to give him kind of his cheeks. So we're going to come out straight out from here, up into the middle, and straight out from this side and up into the middle, and then give him another curve for his tongue hanging out. Now a walrus has those long whiskers, and the whiskers help them find the clams that they like to eat. So we're just going to make some lines sticking out here, some lines sticking out here for his whiskers. Show me when you're ready for our walrus's scalp. I'm going to start over next to this eye, come up over the top, down, then come around and stop. So kind of like that, okay? Show me when you're ready for our walrus's tail. I'm going to come out from here, make some little curves coming down. So there's our walrus's tail. Now show me when you're ready for one of the walrus's flippers. I'm going to come from this line where I stopped here and come down, loop up, and back up like so. And then give him some little toes here. Show me when you're ready to finish the walrus's chest. So let's come from this line all the way around, back up here, and then curve back down. Show me when you're ready for another flipper for our walrus. So this one, I'm just going to come out from here, back up here, and some little toes again. So there's our walrus. Show me when you're ready to write the word walrus. Say walrus. Hear Winkie Walrus's sound, and how do we spell that? With a W. So let's come up here, make a straight line down and another line down for an angle line, and another straight line. So 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines. Show me the next sound in walrus. Walrus. Now one of the ways that Ollie Ostrich spells his aw sound is with A-L. So we're going to use A-L today for Ollie Ostrich. So make an A with a circle in your straight line, and then your L. And we're also going to hear the sound of O. So now we've got W-all. What's the next sound? Walrus. Now that has 2 syllables. Walrus. So wall is our first syllable. Rus is our second syllable. So what's the first sound in rus? R. R for writing. So make your straight line and then your hook. Walrus. And what's Uncle Upton's letter? U. And what's the last sound? Walrus. S for surfing. And how does Sadie Seal spell that? With an S. So put your circle around walrus because that's a noun, and tie your string to the walrus. Okay, the next thing that we're going to draw is the wishing well, where Winkie Walrus goes to make his wishes. So when we make our wishing well, we're going to start by making a wall that goes around the well. And walrus started with that word wall. So the first thing we're going to do for our wishing well is we're going to make a long hot dog shaped skinny circle. So make your hot dog shape. Then we're going to come with 2 straight lines down, like so, and then a curved line at the bottom. Now we're going to go to the middle and add another curved line. That almost looks like a can now, doesn't it? Then we're going to come to the middle of that part and make another line, and then come to the middle down here for a line. Now we're going to make the bricks that we're going to use to make our wall. So I'm going to come to the top one and make a line right down the center. Then I'm going to come halfway in here, make 2 lines for bricks there. Then I'm going to make another line here in the center, just like I did for the first one. Then I'm going to come to the bottom and divide that. So there's our bricks for our wall. So the water is in here, and here's the bricks, and most of the water may be way down under the ground, so we need a bucket that we can lower down into the wishing well to get our water. So we're going to come up here with a line, up here with a line, and a line here. Now we're going to make the bucket so we can get our water out. So I'm going to make another hot dog shape here, and I'm going to angle in a little bit, and there's the bottom of my bucket. Then I'm going to come here with a curved line, make a handle for my bucket, and then a rope holding on here. Now we need a crank so we can lower the bucket into the water and then bring the bucket back up. So I'm going to come over here, straight out, straight down, straight out again, and then connect to that with a line. So there's my rope so I can lower and raise the bucket. Now we need a roof. So I'm going to come straight up here and put a dot in the middle. From the dot, I'm going to come down to this side and down to this side. So now we've got 2 things that we drew. First we drew a wall. So let's say the word wall. Wall. What do you hear first? There's Winkie Walrus's sound again. So here's our W. W. What's the next sound you hear in wall? Wall. Ah, just like we did here, we're going to spell Ollie Ostrich's sound with an A and an L. Now what's the last sound in wall? Wall. So now we need another L for laying our head on lemon leaves. And so that says wall. So there's the wall of our well. Now we need the word well. So everybody say well. Well. There's W again. So we're going to spell that with a W once more. What's the next sound you hear in well? Well. Exercising. How does Edgar Allan spell that? With an E, so a straight line out, back up to a half circle, a curve around. What's the last sound in well? Well. Oh, for laying on lemon leaves again. And just like we did with wall, we're going to make 2 L's. And we'll tie the string to the well. Now, in some places they have wells, but instead of bringing a bucket down, they have a pump. And the pump is driven by a windmill. Here's some windmills from Holland, and they pump water about and back into the sea so that it doesn't get flooded there. And you can see these windmills have kind of some little houses attached to them. So we're going to make a windmill that kind of looks like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do for our windmill is we're going to make a circle. We'll put a circle on your page. Then we're going to make 2 diagonal lines. We're going to make coming out this side, coming out this side. Then we're going to come down here and do the same thing, coming here and try to kind of split that. Okay, now we're going to make the little house that you see here that they use for their windmills in Holland. So I'm going to make a line coming down here, a line coming down here, and then a curve at the bottom. Then we need a door to get in, so I'm going to come up and curve down. So there's the door. Got a little window here, a little window over here. Now we need the blades that the wind can blow. So I'm going to take and put a little line at the end of each of my diagonal lines. Then I'm going to come down here and make a line coming out and out. So there's one blade. There's another blade. There's another blade. And another blade. And then my windmill's kind of sitting on a foundation here. So there's my windmill. So now let's write the word windmill. Say windmill, windmill. What do you hear first? W for washing. So here we are with our W again. Wind, for itching. So I'm going to make an I for itching. Nibbling. And how does Nellie Newt spell that? With an N. Wind, D for dancing. So here's my circle, a straight line for Daisy Dragon. So windmill has two words in it, but that are put together. So this first word is wind. The next word is mill. Say mill. For moving your magic mop. What's the next sound? Itching. I for itching. Mill for laying lemon leaves again. And a lot of times at the end of words you have two L's instead of one. And so we're going to do the same thing here with two L's. So there's our windmill. Now, Winkie Walrus like to eat lots of different things, and one of the things that he might eat are the worms and some other little insects that I don't know if he would eat these or not, but they're kind of fun. We're going to make a web, and here's some books about spider webs. This is these are Skyberry books about a Nonzi, who is a spider who builds a web. And here's another old tale about why does a white spider have 8 legs. And then this is a really fun one about the spider that went up the water spout. Eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. So you might know that old nursery rhyme. So we're going to make a web. So the first thing we're going to do for our web is I'm going to make a straight line down, and then I'm going to go to the center and come out with a straight line here. Try to make my lines kind of about the same length. Then I'm going to come across here with another straight line. Then I'm going to come between these two with another straight line. Now we're going to start to connect those lines. So when we connect them, I'm going to come with a curve that curves in towards the center and keep making curved lines that go all the way around. Then I'll come up a little bit and do the same thing. And one more time up here, same thing with my curved lines. And if I'm going a little bit too fast, you can finish up yours when we finish the lesson. So another curved line here. So there's a web. So let's write the word web. Everybody say web. What do you hear first? W for washing again. W. What's the next sound in web? Web. For exercising. And what's the last sound in web? Web. B. B for bowing. So there's web, and we'll tie our string to the web. So now we've got walrus, a well, a wall, a windmill, and a web, all using Winkie Walrus's sound. So now we're going to put that into a song. And so I want to teach you one of my favorite old songs that we can rewrite. And this is a song that Raffi sang. So if you can get a recording of Raffi or get the book for the spider on the floor, that's a good place to start with this. And his song starts like this. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. Who could ask for any more than a spider on the floor? There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. Now, when Raffi sings that song, he sings it all the way through with just a spider. But when we sing it, we're going to change and only use the spider in the first verse. So the first verse, we're going to have a spider on the floor. Then the next verse, we're going to have a fish, and we're going to rhyme with fish by putting him in, what do we have over here? A dish. And then the fish's tail in the dish is going to go swish. So we're going to have a fish in a dish with his tail going swish. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to sing about a frog on a log. And this frog on the log is hiding from the dog. Why do you think a frog might hide from a dog? So we'll sing that verse. And then after we sing those verses, we're going to sing about a fly who tries to eat your pie. We're going to sing about a shoe that gets stuck in some goo. And you can see the green and red and blue goo down here under the shoe that it got stuck in. And then finally down here, we're going to sing about Betty Botter, who saw an otter in the water. So let's try that. And here's what our version of Spider on the Floor sounds like. Ready?
There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. Who could ask for any more than a spider on the floor? There's a spider on the floor, on the floor. There's a fish in the dish, in the dish. There's a fish in the dish, in the dish. There's a fish in the dish, and his tail is going swish. There's a fish in the dish, in the dish.
Here's our frog on the log.
There's a frog on the log in the fog. There's a frog on the log in the fog. There's a frog on the log and he's hiding from a dog. There's a frog on the log in the fog. There's a fly in my pie, in my pie. There's a fly in my pie, in my pie. Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. Now it's waving goodbye. There's a fly in my pie, in my pie.
Now we've got the shoe in the goo.
There's some goo on my shoe, on my shoe. There's some goo on my shoe, on my shoe. Ah, yes, it's really true. It's green and red and blue. There's some goo on my shoe, on my shoe.
Here's the otter.
Betty Botter saw an otter in the water. Betty Botter saw an otter in the water. Betty Botter was the spotter of the otter in the water. Betty Botter saw an otter in the water.
Okay, so that's I think that's kind of a fun song to play with. So we're going to write our own verse for that song now, and we're going to put Winkie Walrus into it. So our patterned book has frames for all of the songs, but some of them I change around a little bit. So this one we're going to do a little bit different than it is in our pattern book. So let's come up here to the top, and you can put your finger, if you have this page, to go along with me and sing this with me. Oh, there's a walrus by the well, by the well. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. So what word do we need to put here? Just like we did on our paper, we need to write the word walrus. So let's write walrus. W, W, ah. We did that with an A. Wall with an L. Rus, R, S. So just like we wrote on our paper when we drew it, there's our walrus. There's a walrus by the well. Now we just wrote well, so we should be able to write that again here. Let me get a pen that's working just a little bit better. So well, we started with our W again. W. Well, for exercising. Wool for your lemon leaves. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. So what do we need here? We need well again. W. L. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. Now I changed this line because the walrus had a story to tell. So remember Winkie Walrus's story? Well, here he is. He wants to tell his story, and a story is sometimes called a tale. And he's got a tale to tell, so his story is a tale. There's a walrus by the well. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. So we need the word walrus down here again. So write your word walrus. And what goes last? Well. Now let's sing our whole verse once more. Ready? Oh, there's a walrus by the well, by the well. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. There's a walrus by the well, and he's got a tale to tell. There's a walrus by the well, by the well. And then after you finish your page, you need to put the things up at the top for Winkie Walrus. And so here's what I did on mine. Here's my walrus. He's by the well, and he's telling his tale about wishing for wiggly worms. So I hope you enjoyed that drawing and labeling lesson. And when you're all finished, you can add more words to your drawing page and add some adjectives to describe the things that we drew. And I'll see you next time, and I'll show you how I finished up my page. So I hope to see you then.